Top 10 Sexist Quotes from Men of the Church. Number 10. John Knox, Scottish clergyman and reformer of the 16th century, who said, "A woman in her greatest perfection was made to serve and obey man. Nature, I say, paints women further to be weak, frail, impatient, feeble, and foolish, and experience has declared them to be inconsistent, variable, cruel, and lacking the spirit of counsel and regiment, or leadership." Number 9. John Calvin, theologian, pastor, and reformer from 1509 to 1564, who said, "On this account, all women are born that they may acknowledge themselves as inferior in consequence to the superiority of the male sex." Number 8. Martin Luther, theologian and reformer of the 16th century, who said, "For a woman seems to be a creature somewhat different from man, in that she has dissimilar members, a varied form, and a mind weaker than man. Although Eve was a most excellent and beautiful creature, like unto Adam in reference to the image of God, that is, with respect to righteousness, wisdom, and salvation, yet she was a woman. For as the sun is more glorious than the moon, though the moon is a most glorious body, so a woman, though she was a most beautiful work of God, yet she did not equal the glory of the male creature." Number 7. Thomas Aquinas, doctor of the church in the 13th century, who said, "But a woman is naturally of less strength and dignity than man." He also said, "As regards to the individual nature, a woman is defective and misbegotten, for the active force in the male seed tends to the production of a perfect likeness in the masculine sex, while the production of the woman comes from a defect in the active force or from some material disposition, or even from some external influence." Number 6. Augustine, Bishop of Hippo and Latin Father, from 354 to 430, who said, "I don't see what sort of help a woman was created to provide man with, if one excludes procreation. If a woman is not given to man for help in bearing children, for what help could she be? To till the earth together? If help were needed for that, man would be a better help for man. The same goes for comfort and solitude. How much more pleasure is it for life and conversation when two friends live together than when a man and a woman cohabitate?" He continues, "The woman together with her own husband is the image of God, so that the whole substance may be one image. But when she is referred separately to her quality of helpmeet, which regards the woman herself alone, then she is not the image of God. But as regards to the man alone, he is the image of God as fully and completely as when the woman too is joined with him in one." Number 5. Jerome, theologian and Latin father of the 4th and 5th centuries, who said, "The woman is the root of all evil." Number 4. Chrysostom, Archbishop of Constantinople in the 4th century, who said, "God maintained the order of each sex by dividing the business of their life into two parts, and assigned the more necessary and beneficial aspects to the man, and the less important, inferior matter to the woman." Number 3. Tertullian, the father of Latin Christianity, 155 to 245, who said, "And do you not know that you are each an Eve? The sentence of God on this sex of yours lives in this age. The guilt must, of necessity, live too. You are the devil's gateway. You are the unsealer of that forbidden tree. You are the first deserter of the divine law. You are she who persuaded him whom the devil was not valiant enough to attack. You destroyed so easily God's image, man. On the account of your desert, that is, death, even the Son of God had to die. And do you think about adorning yourself over and above your tunics of skins?" Number 2. Origen, theologian and Greek father of the 2nd and 3rd centuries, who said, "Men should not sit and listen to a woman, even if she says admirable things, or even saintly things, that is of little consequence, since it came from the mouth of a woman. And number 1, Clement of Alexandria, theologian and Greek father of the 2nd century, who said, "Every woman should be filled with shame by the thought that she is a woman. The consciousness of their own nature must evoke feelings of shame." As for women's rights in Islam, over 1400 years ago, Islam gave women rights that women in the West have only recently began to enjoy, such as the right of legal representation, the right of inheritance, the right of an education, the right to be a witness in court, the right to choose her own husband, the right to divorce, the right for her to own property, the right for her to own her own business, and equality in faith. In the Quran, God Almighty explains that men and women are equal, such as in chapter 3, 195, he says, "And their Lord responded to them, 'Never will I allow to be lost the work of any worker among you. Whether male or female, you are of one another.'" God Almighty also explains in chapter 16, 97, "Whoever does righteousness, whether male or female, while he is a believer, we will surely cause him to live a good life, and we will surely give them the reward in the hereafter according to the best of what they used to do." In addition to this, we have people like Annie Besant, a writer and women's rights activist of the early 19th century, who spoke about Islam in depth and said, "It is only in the last 20 years that Christian England has recognized the right of women to property, while Islam has allowed this right for all times." We also have Karen Armstrong, an author, commentator, and former Catholic nun, who spoke about Islam saying, "We must remember what life had been like for women in the pre-Islamic period, when female infanticide was the norm, and when women had no rights at all. Like slaves, women were treated as an inferior species, who had no legal existence. In such a primitive world, what Muhammad achieved for women was extraordinary. The very idea that a woman could be witness or could inherit anything at all in her own right was astonishing." Visit us at our website, simplyseerah.com, or follow us on social media. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.